Hey everyone, and welcome to the Breaking Muscle podcast. Today I am joined by Ray Cash Care. Ray is a Navy SEAL veteran who has leveraged his experience and passion to become an expert on self-improvement, team building, and fitness. He is the founder of Conquer, a leadership and team building program designed to push you physically, mentally, and emotionally to break through personal barriers. Ray will teach you how to learn, grow, and profit from your pain by becoming better from the inside out. Ray, welcome to the show.
And thank you for having me, brother. It's an honor, man. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm pumped to be here.
Excellent. All right. So, Ray, the first thing that comes to mind is like we've covered there. You're an ex-Navy SEAL. When I think, I mean, I'm based in London, but I've seen some movies, I've read some books, and you know a little bit about that world in just from the outside looking in. Now, it strikes me that you must be incredibly disciplined, organized, focused to succeed in that environment. First question I have for you is: we're assuming that is true of you now. Were you always like that?
Self-taught to be organized. I come from pretty much a fucked up background. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. I'm a Jerry. I don't know if you guys have Jerry Springer over there, but
We know Jerry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jerry. Just the white trash that's that people that have to overcome and conquer. That's how I came up with my company, and I think a person can teach themselves to do anything through pain
Mm-hmm.
and through discipline. And that's exactly what I did. It started at a very young age, but what's so great about it is it's something that you always are fine tuning, right? There's no such thing as perfection, only progression. And I'm just going to keep progressing, man, in the right direction, right? Moving the needle in the right direction, trying to be the best version of me I can be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great to hear. So for anyone who's not already there, realize that you have that growth mindset. You can progress in the right direction. So you said from a young age though. So when did the switch happen? Presumably before Ray, as you know yourself now, your identity now. You were very different at one point, presumably. So what made that change happen?
Yeah, so my father was murdered when I was 11, and that put me in an angry state, of denial and just anger. And I went down a road of, I was 11, I started getting in fights and drinking at a very young age. At 19, I came back. I was going to a community college. I was out drinking under the influence. God only knows what type of drug or pill I was taking. I looked in the mirror, and it's something I still do to this day. I do what's called a self-reflection drill,
Mm-hmm.
where I make all my clients, I have clients all over the world, look in the mirror and tell me what you see. And what I tell people is 99% of the world's problems can be solved if you focus on that reflection and fix what you see in that reflection. Well, when I looked into the mirror, I saw my father. He was, even though he beat me and we had a lot of issues, he was still my dad. And I didn't want to be the biker, the womanizer, the brawler, the drinker, the pill abuser. And right then and there, I don't know if you want to call it cold turkey or what, but I just said that's where I came up with my attack the hill mindset. It's fuck it, fuck you. I'm saying that to myself, not others. Like, fuck it, man. We got to make a change. And then it's like, fuck you. Look in the mirror. If you don't like what you see, then you need to change it. I always tell people always focus on the many and caring about what everybody thinks. Focus on the you. And then once you master and conquer that, then focus on the few. And that's the people that you want, in your world, right? I only have about 10 people in my world, and then everyone else is acquaintances. I only have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like 10 brothers and sisters. And then after that, it's just levels of, yes, I'm friendly. Yes, I'm courteous. Yes, I'm cordial, but they're not people that I want to go to battle with. So I choose my direct audience very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say, pick 5 or 10 of your friends, and that's going to be you. And in 10 years, all of mine are super successful, super healthy, and super happy. So, again, back to that needle, right? I'm trying to get my life mission on the right course and the right path.
Okay. So it seems to me you probably have to be quite ruthless in that. If you're going to zone in, you're like, I've got these 5 people in my life who are bringing me up to their level. You're going to have to cut some people out. Some that's going to be tough.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the way you responded to that means I know you've done that. So can you expand on that a little bit? Let us know how that process worked for you.
Yeah. I talk about in Conquer, each letter stands for something. And you were talking about getting rid of of negative entities. I call it of the clock. Time is right. Clock is time. Time management, guard your time. And I do 3 things to do that. Number 1, I create a POL. What is a POL? I'm glad you asked me, big man. It is a pattern of life. That's how we killed Osama bin Laden. People are creatures of habits. So what I tell people is for about 30 days, I want you to write down from the minute you start to the minute you go to bed what you do, and then what puts you in, it's called emotional discipline. So in the perfect world, you have 3 colors, and I have 3 markers that I live by. Red, which is put me in my hot zone. Blue, which is, which is disassociating, connecting me. Women usually do that when they get cold and they just veer off. I want to figure out what's going to keep me in the green. There's no such thing as a perfect green. I just want to have that rocking motion. So what I do, and I tell people for the first 30 days, is write down anything that puts you in the red and the blue. Put down what keeps you happy, right? Like the gym makes me happy. My family makes me happy. Stress puts me in the red, so I try to eliminate it. Well, what you're going to do after those 30 days is you're going to do that self-reflection. You're going to take those 3 markers and you're going to circle the shit that makes you red, that makes you blue, and that makes you green. Then once you do that, you have to trim the fat, right? Mm-hmm. People, places, things, entities, cut them loose. I had to cut my own mother out of my life. She was negative, and it was carrying from me to my children, and I won't allow that. I will not let my children go through the shit that I did, right? Mm-hmm. In life, you only win and you learn, right? I don't believe that you lose unless you quit. If you quit, you're a fucking quitter, and I call people losers because they've lost out on, those great moments that you could have had by putting out, right? So I only win and learn, and I learned that I'm not going to allow my children and my wife to be subjected to what I was subjected to. So I cut things loose, and I do this every 90 days because life is like taste buds. It changes, right? Like seasons. And then the last thing I do, my watch is always 15 minutes early. I don't get up to one of these things. Okay, pardon my language. I'm not going to be a slave to technology. I don't like that word. I'm not going to be. I have an old school alarm clock. This is the best advice I can give anybody that has a hard time getting up and attacking the hill. Get an old school alarm clock that goes tick, 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 tick. And when it goes off, it sounds like a bomb went off. And if you happen, I don't know, I lay beside my beautiful wife. I set that alarm clock about 20 feet away from me on the dresser. So I have to jump out of bed. I have to go hit it. And then guess what I have to do? I have to deal with the repercussions of my wife pissed off because I get up early as shit. She gets up about 15 minutes later than me. But after about a week of that, guess what your body does? It programs itself to get up early. I get up. I don't even have to set an alarm clock now. So my point is a lot of people live by hitting the fucking snooze button and they're programming themselves. Why would you delay greatness? Me? I set my clock to attack the day at like 5:40. I'm up every morning at 5:30. And then I have drills that I do where I set up and start accomplishing that. And 2 things are going to happen, big man. 2 things and 2 things only. Your body's either going to adjust or your ass is going to be sleeping in a guest room because my wife will not tolerate it. But it's amazing what you can do. People always want to be coddled and wake up to soft sounds. And that's not what life is, man. Life is about getting your ass rocked and then trying to get back up and fight again. And that's what I am. I'm a fighter. And I program myself from the inside out. That's the thing. People, and I know, we have a lot of the same people. We know, I know all, the big wigs over at what you do. And I tell them all the time, you want to be a great human being. You want to look great. You want to be great. Focus on you from the inside out. Focus on your 4 F-bombs, and that's your family, your fitness, your finances, and your faith. And before you say anything, we've never spoke before. I'm going to show your audience, right, your giant audience, how you can be programmed. You ready? This is not scripted, guys. And I don't know how you guys do shit in England, but this is how we do things in the United States. Ready?
Yes, ready.
Fill in the blanks. What do you do before you cross the street? Go.
I look left and right.
You look both ways. That's right. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have a family?
Yes.
Who's in your family? Give me.
So my wife, I got 2 kids, 5 and 7.
5 and 7. 7. I guarantee I could ask your wife and your children that same question if I wasn't a stranger danger, right? And they would say, Daddy or mommy taught me to look both ways or look left or right. So here's the question I have. Were you, your children, or your wife hit by a car crossing the street?
No.
No. You were programmed, and you're a programmer, right? You're programming your children to do that. So my thing is once you've created that POL, then this is the next thing I tell people, and then I'll stop there. Create an MOL. MOL, motto of life. Just like you're programming your children to look both ways because you don't want them to get injured, program your children to be fucking awesome. And I'll show you how. I have a son and a daughter, and it works very well when you have a son and a daughter, but whatever. Now, do you have a daughter in it by any chance?
Yeah. So my daughter's 5, my son's 7.
Perfect. So you have the same combo as me. Now, I program my son and my daughter. They say the same things. Now, would you want to program your daughter or son? Let me use your daughter because this usually hits home first to say, I'm going to get up. I'm going to be an average person, and I want a man to treat me like shit. Would you want your daughter to be programmed like, no.
Fuck no.
No, fuck no. Would you want your son to say, you know what, I'm going to be a deadbeat and I'm going to beat on women? No, fuck no. But what you can do is do what I've been doing for my daughter since she was 4. I have a video. She gets up every fucking morning and she says, I'm a champion and I'm a winner. And my son says the same thing. It's the last thing they do before they get up and the last thing they do before they go to bed. And people go, Cash, you're brainwashing your kids. Okay. My daughter's 12. She's never had fast food before. She's tried a Sprite once. She's a 4-time state champion gymnastics freak. You can call it whatever the hell you want, but I'm programming my kids to be successful. And I do this all over the world, and my results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But my thing is I can't do that. Like, I have children programmed until I fix mom and dad, right? Because if you're telling your kids to look both ways and you're fucking running across the street not looking, they're going to do the same thing you're doing. So that's why I tell people, right, at your level, you are an influencer. You know, everybody thinks you need to have all these blue checks and that makes you something. A blue check doesn't make you anything. Someone that teaches people how to become successful is what makes you an influencer. And this is all it is. Success is helping others help themselves. You are successful because you're teaching people how to become successful on different fashions by using this social media platform. So you're a very successful human being and you're giving back versus motherfuckers that just think this is success. I have this, and I'll tell you this right now. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass, but sometimes it's great, right? Because the more you're grateful, not greedy, but human beings are greedy. I make $10,000, I want 12. I make 12, I want 50. But the reason why I want to make more money is because the more I make, the more I want to give.
Yes.
I used to just want to make and take. That's the wrong fucking way to look at things, man. You've got to give back to your community. You've got to invest back in things, charitable events, and teach your kids the same fucking principles. And that's why what I'm doing, and that's why I get to be on these cool podcasts with people like you, because I'm getting noticed, and I don't want to get noticed. I just want to do good shit for the world.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do cool shit, though, and you help more people.
Exactly.
More people
and I don't give a shit what side of the road you drive on. I've been over to England. I did a TV show over there. I love England. You guys are awesome, right? I mean, great fucking human beings are great fucking human beings. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, yellow, purple, he, she, shim. I don't fucking care. I just want good people doing great shit. That's it.
Like that. Well, that's your mic drop moment. We could probably call it there, and we'd be happy. I think people enjoy that. So, a couple of things though on what you've said. So, first one, just from a personal point of view, having a daughter is one of the things that can change your perspective, like nothing else. Is in my experience. You know, once you have a little girl, so we had a boy first, then the girl. Even just from having your first child to the second, it being a girl, suddenly just some things change there. Your protective instincts kick in that whole bit extra with a daughter.
Someone or something above a greater power is punishing men like you and I. and it's a true story. When my daughter was born, she looked just like me. And I was like, oh my God, she's going to be a dude. She's going to play softball. She's going to like women. But thank God because I married way out of my league. I have a beautiful wife. She's stunning. Like when we go out, I got tattoos all over me. I look like a hoodlum, and she's classy and sophisticated. And my daughter is 12 and she looks like she's 20. And yeah, man, I tell you what, it is so different. Just for the littlest things, like my son would fall down, get stitches. I'm like, get up, boy. You know, my daughter falls down. It's like the world ended. But
yeah.
you know what they say about dads, and I don't, with a son, you only have to worry about one, you know what? With a daughter, you got to worry about them all. And I tell you what, man, Big Daddy don't fuck around, man. I love
Yeah.
my daughter, and I am a protectful man just because the world is a great place, but it's also an evil place. And you have to have that situational awareness. I teach my kids about that, right? It's about being situationally aware of your surroundings and with everything. I do that with my wife, my kids, my friends. And believe me, not only do I teach, I love to be taught. That's the key to being successful, right? You can be at the top of your fucking game, but you still don't know everything. So I'm always learning. Learn to earn, baby.
Absolutely. So there's two things that spring to mind that I want to follow up on. We'll quickly do this one, I think. But your energy, right? So it's fairly obvious. Anyone listening, you bring in a ton of energy. So, like I said, were you always disciplined, organized, focused? Did you always have this energy?
Yeah, I've always been a fucking animal, man. I think you just some people were born into it. Some people have to find it. I've always been aggressive. I've always had high energy. I'm balls to the walls. And with me, there's no in between. You either love me or you hate me because I literally sit up like Undertaker, Mark. His name's Mark, the WWE wrestler. When he gets hit, he sits up. That's me when I get up in the morning. But the problem is, and the reason why I'm that way is everybody has the glass, right? Your glass. And it's filled up halfway. The people like me look at the glass as half full because they have so much more fucking potential, so much to give. They're so blessed to have, average person sleeps 4 to 8 hours. So I roughly have 14 to 18 hours to do two things: be really fucking awesome or be a big piece of shit. And my thing is, no offense, I want to do that. Now, the people that get up and they hit the snooze button and they're going through life with blinders on, they're sheep that look at me. They're looking at the glass half empty. They're waiting to die. You need to reverse engineer that shit. They're the people that think you only win and lose, and you don't lose. As long as there's a lesson taken from a failure, man, the SEAL teams, I think this is the biggest failure is not an option. Motherfucker, I fail every day. I fail every day because I'm out of my comfort zone. The SEAL teams, we fail all the time. But we still succeed because we just don't stop. We don't quit because we're not going to lose. So maybe, in the movies, we hit it on time, on target every time. But in real life, we might miss it by 2 seconds. But guess what? We're still going to take care of whatever we need to take care of. And we will run, swim, walk, crawl, bite, scream, whatever it takes to get the job done. And all I've done is taken those same principles and applied it to my daily life because this is what I am. Like, people always ask me, are you a fitness coach? Are you a motivational coach? No. Like, every week I do 1,200 push-ups. I do them on Sunday. I do 1,200 push-ups in an hour. Do more, do less, just do. That's what I say. I have men, women, kids. So finally, this is what it is. I am a pain coach. Pain. And pain is simply this, brother. I try to pick something that every single human being has experienced in their life. There are some human beings who haven't won a whole lot. There are some human beings who are not successful. There are some human beings that don't look like movie stars. There are some human beings that are overweight and they do everything they can. But the one commonality, we've all dealt with pain, and it's mental, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and sexual. They're like your 6 trigger pains. And what I do is I learn from them, right? I don't lose and quit because here's the equation. Pain equals growth. Growth equals power. Power equals knowledge, and I'll say it again, and knowledge equals profit. I'm going to say it one more time. Pain equals growth. Growth equals power. Power equals knowledge, and knowledge equals profit. And this is what it is. I make motherfuckers profitable through their pain and their experience. Number one, I tell them you're not alone. 1 out of every 4 men have been molested in some way, shape, or form. 1 out of 8 men have been abused in a relationship, and whether it's at home or even in a relationship they're in right now: mental, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, sexual abuse. Men have doubts, regret, remorse, right? Women do. We all have fucking demons. This is what I tell people. Rob O'Neill's one of my best friends. I just had a conversation with him and Kid Rock down and Bob Ritchie down in Tennessee. We're drinking some whiskey. We're smoking some cigars. And if you guys don't know who Rob O'Neill is, he's the one who killed Osama bin Laden. And he has a lot of demons in the closet. And people are always trying to kill the demons. They're always trying to outrun the demons. Mm-hmm. You can kill about 90% of your demons and you can outrun 90% of your demons, but there's about 10%. Like if you have trauma from the past, the things that Rob has gone through and seen and done, and me, you can't do that. So the only fucking thing that you can do as a human being is number one, name it. Number two, claim it. And number three, tame it. That's it. Mm-hmm. Name, claim, and tame. Once you realize that there are some demons that you just can't control, like I'll give you an example. Let's not talk war. Let's talk regular human beings. If you were an alcoholic, if you're in drug rehab, right? You could stay clean. I know people are staying clean for 3 to 4 years, and then something triggers it. Something, right? A death in the family, some type of traumatic, something triggers it. And what do? They're starting to go down that dark path again, but you have to name it, claim it, tame it. You have to say to yourself, Tom, Ray, I fucking know I'm an alcoholic. I've been, you got to pull up look at that coin. Fuck, all the work I've put in. Claim it. Listen, here's what's going to happen if I do this. And then tame that bitch. You know what? I tell people, if you have those type of needs and wants, my people, I make them drop down. I say, I'll tell you what, drop down to 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups if you're thinking about doing a drink. Don't come up until you do those 100 push-ups. Each one has to be perfect. You know what they tell me? Fuck that. I'm too tired. I'm too tired to grab a glass. You know what? I just saved your life by putting a little bit of pain in your life. And people can do that with anything. I can't do push-ups. Fine, do sit-ups. Just do squats. Do something that makes you uncomfortable for an extended period of time to the point where your body's going to say, you know what? That drink or that fucking needle or that strip club or looking at porn or whatever the fuck you're into, whatever your vice is, wasn't worth it. And you can go back. It all goes back circumventing to that triggering and programming yourself. I'm going to program myself through pain to not go down those dark alleys again. Hold yourself in a plank position for 5 minutes. I promise you will not want to drink. You will not want to do whatever it is you've done that. All you're going to do is want to get up and sit down and relax. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a different approach to make people better. I'm not going to sit here and go praise Jesus. And, no, people fuck up all the time. You just have to find a way to, as soon as that ship gets off course, right? Because you're the captain of your own vessel, man, you got to hit it real quick and get it right back there. Because what people do is they're like, oh, I like it over here. Yeah. Let me steer back. So that's what I'm doing.
And so, you interrupt that pattern, but you're doing it with, doing it with pain, something powerful, because, what's more powerful than pain?
You said it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not going to elaborate if you hit it on the head, brother. That's it.
No. All right. Nice. So, there's all sorts of things I'm thinking here, but again, you're a coach, you're a teacher. Yep. You need to get people to, it's like there'll be people listening to this, they're fired up, motivated, but like you mentioned, discipline, like people can't wait for motivation every day. It's not going to be there all the time. So how do you get people? I'm thinking it's a case of walking the walk is what came to mind earlier when you were talking about your kids as well. This is when I had kids, I realized that saying one thing, they might listen, whatever, but they mimic and they'll follow your actions. So the example you set and how you carry yourself and, what you put yourself through, that's what they're going to recognize and follow. Is that something that not only with your kids, but with, people that you're working with, you find crucial?
Fuck yeah, man. I tell everybody, each and every one of us is an entrepreneur in life. An entrepreneur is someone who gets up and take risks. Every night that you go to bed, you're taking a risk and not getting up. Number two, you're not an ambassador, you're an ambassador, right? You're an ambassador in life. You are literally this is what life is about. Life is about being evaluated and judged. From the minute we were born, we've been judged. People look at you, oh, that's a cute baby, oh, that's an ugly baby, right? They do, right? Oh, look, he's going to be in the whatever percentile of his height. Oh, he's not athletic. Oh, he is, right? And then what happens is people develop complexes when they're not the best of who they need to be. And this is what I tell people. Stop trying to be the best and just be the best fucking version of you can be. So here's the best motivation I give somebody, right? How old are you, sir?
38.
38. And when were you born? Give me your date.
1982.
1982. What month?
April 22nd.
Okay. Rewind 9 months before that. Okay. Your mom and your dad were together doing something, right? You know what I'm talking about. All right. From the time of conception, millions of racers, and you're one of them, were going towards the prize, right? The aim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I tell people is you made it. I say out of millions, you're the fucking one who made it. Now, the rest of your life, your job is to find the purpose of why you chose. Why since the beginning of conception, why you were the strongest, why you were the best. Think about the millions that didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell people. And if you start attacking life like that, like if you get up every morning and say, you know what? There were millions and I made it, right? You won the fucking lottery, and people don't look at it like that. People look at it as like, I was born into a bad life. I just got done with Bedros and our team training 120 kids that are troubled up in Idaho. And they got to go back to these shitty fucking lives when their parents are drug addicts and they've had sexual abuse. And I told them, you just went through this amazing 18-week program. I told a girl she was she was molested like her entire life. You can change it. If you can't live there, you got to find somewhere else to live. You have, I can what if to death, but I told her, she said, I don't feel special. I'm like, sweetheart, millions tried to be where you're at right now and you're still standing. And it changed her whole perception of things. She was looking at the glass fucking half empty. And I tell her, people like the people that have had the hardest lives and been kicked down, their glass is almost fucking empty, but there's still a little bit in there. And as long as there's still a drop in there, you can just keep putting more and more in. And, I give them my phone numbers and, they're all in Idaho. And they're like, this girl was like, I want a job. She's like 15. I'm like, honey, I can't give you a job right now. But what I can do is give you my phone number and check up on you once a week to make sure that you're good. And, create a dive buddy, just like we, have a dive buddy in your team, and focus on each other. And if shit gets bad, you've got to get out of that situation. So, but yeah, man, the message that I tell each and every listener that's on here is you are fucking unique. You are fucking special. You are fucking awesome. You just have to find out what your purpose is. And it's going to take you a lifetime, right? You're born, there's the dash, and you die. What I tell people to do is write your eulogy right now, at 38, at 48. I'm 10 years older than you. I'm going to write my eulogy right now. You don't like it? Look in the fucking mirror and change it. Right? The dash. And you have to live for the dash. You have to live for the fucking moment. You want it? Go get it. People aren't going to give you shit. I'm a dumb Irish kid who barely has an education, and I'm run with some of the best in the world. And it's because of my acronym with team, right? Team me, team care, trust, effort, attitude, mission. Fucking, I trust in myself. I trust in my brothers. I have a small team. Effort. Motherfucker, I'm coming and I'm giving you. I don't give 100%. I give you all I got, and then I'm going to give you more. Attitude. Attitude, dude, I'll tell you what, is everything. You can kick me in the balls and I'm going to say, Roger that. Can I have another? Because I've been kicked in the balls before, right? On all the pain. Great attitude will get you where you're at. And then the mission is growth. 1% better in your family, your fitness, your finance, and your faith. Bedros Keuilian hired me. Bedros Keuilian, he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He was looking at all these SEALs. This was my job interview. Bedros, and we were friends. I'm not the biggest, the strongest, or the fastest. I'm not going to probably even make you the best money. He goes, this is not going well. But I said that you will not find anybody who's going to give you fucking more of the team acronym. He didn't know what it was. I said, you can trust me. I can trust you. My effort, I'm going to give you every fucking thing I have. Right? Attitude, brother, there's no one is more grateful than me. And my mission is this, exactly what you fucking tell me it is. No one's going to outwork me. No one's going to be more loyal. And I told him, this is my attitude in life. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if I'm fucking late, I'm either dead or I'm fired. My interview, I was there 2 hours early. I was there before other people were getting fucking interviewed. I'm not going to roll into bed. You want to start being better. Let's say you have to go to work at 8 o'clock. How many people fucking roll into work right at 8 o'clock? It fucking drives me nuts. That's why my clock's set early. I show up at 7:45, get all my shit going. I'm sitting there waiting, punch my clock at it, boom, I'm going. Fucking people are going to recognize that, and they're going to want to do it. I do this with companies where people race to see who can get in the earliest because the boss is going to reward them with a $5 gift card. People want recognition. People don't always need money. Just being recognized for putting the fuck out. Forbes did a study. an employee would want a person, a human wants to be fucking given recognition over a bonus because bonuses are not instantaneous and they want to be praised in front of others. You want to be a great human being, go around, meet 3 new people a day, every day for the rest of your life. Hi, my name's Ray. What's your name? What's your name, sir?
Tom.
Hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Have some conversation. And then after that, praise him on something. Wow, man, I really think you've got a great aura. Do me a favor, Tom. I want you to do the same thing. Go meet 3 people and give them a compliment. Spread the word, man. Spread the wealth. And people are going to do that. That's how I make all these connections and shit. I walked up to Kid Rock and said, hey, my name's Ray Care, man. I'm a huge fan. I just bought it right in front of everybody. He's like, okay, guess what? I have drinks with him and stuff now. I'm just authentic. And people can see through the bullshit. Just lay it all out there. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to tell me go fuck myself? Okay. I tell myself that every day. You can't do anything to me that I haven't already done because I self-motivate, educate, and I decimate myself. I walk into the room and I already own it. Be that magnetic force that people want to be around.
Nice. So, I mean, I love the way you reframe things with, people, basically they've won the biggest race already. You are a winner. And then like, that's your starting point. Everything's a building, you can build on top. So absolutely love that. The team acronym, nice too. Really like that. I've noted that down, taken that. So with all this stuff we said, doesn't stop the fact that people have goals that they desperately want to achieve. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know the stats on this, but most people quit. So your job, with the people you work with, is one of the things is make sure they don't quit. But what goes into keeping people doing what they need to do to succeed?
Well, like people always ask me all the time, Ray, Cash, whatever you want to go by, what's the secret to SEAL training, right? BUDS, basic underwater demolition. At 6 months, it's supposed to be one of the hardest training things in the world. People are like, what's the secret? There's only 2 secrets. Well, it's 3 secrets. Number 1, don't quit. Number 2, hopefully you don't get hurt because if you get injured, you get rolled. And number 3 is do this. Go back to that self-reflection drill. This is what I tell people. Look in the fucking mirror. Look, especially if you're young. This is what I did. I looked in the mirror at 22 and I took the word quitter and I stamped it across my face. Like you ever seen how they do the 55 with the line through it? And I see that. And what I did was for about a year before I went to BUDS, I'm like, God, I was told I was worthless my whole fucking life. And let me get to this. And this is how I used to look at life. I used to say, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. Mm-hmm. But then about a year ago, I realized I was fucking doing it wrong. I need to prove myself right. Fuck everyone else. Right? Because that's the thing. That's reverse engineering. I used to just like, I'll show them. I'll show my mom. I'll show everybody when I'm hanging out with movie stars. No, I do it for me. And then what I did with that self-reflection drill, Tom, is I went, okay, I'm 22 now. One day I'm going to end up marrying a beautiful woman. I did it. I'm going to end up having 2 amazing kids. Did it. I'm going to be kind of successful and do well. Doing it. Now, if I fucking quit this, whatever it is I'm quitting, then I'm going to fast forward to being with that woman, being with those kids, and my son going, Dad, I want to be a Navy SEAL. Would you ever try that? Could you imagine if I had to tell my kid I fucking quit that? And This is what I'll tell you, it's one thing I agree with David Goggins. He says negativity is the most contagious thing in the world. I used to think positivity was, but it's not. It's actually quitting. Because the thing is by the time someone has quit, when they've gotten to me, then what I tell them is do me a favor, go back and tell me all the other fucking things you've quit on. And there's this huge list. And I was like, if you've already quit all these things and you're not willing to do that now, you're not going to accomplish anything. And people always ask me, Mr. Ray, right? I just had 2 kids come up to me today in the gym and want to get pictures. I stopped everything I'm doing. Have you ever quit anything in your life? Nope. What's it like? Pretty fucking dope. Right? And then I tell them, have you ever quit anything in your life? Yes. Well, then don't fucking quit anything anymore. And I gave them that drill. I do coaching. I teach people. But it all starts with believing in yourself. People that quit and shit just don't believe in themselves. Right? There's 2 types of motivation. There's 2 types of dialogue, internal, external. Everybody wants the external. They want you to tell you you're doing great. Fuck that. Dude, I go into the gym. One of the greatest drills I do, I put headphones in, right? Mm-hmm. And people don't fuck with me because when I go to the gym, I don't like people. I want to train. I go to the gym and I fucking get it on. But I will stop after a set and take pictures with people. But guess what? I don't have anything playing in that shit. Nothing. I just sit there and motivate myself because batteries die, phones die, right? The only way I'm going to die is if I fucking die. And every morning I'm just in there, go, 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 go. I used to drive, and one of the greatest tips Bedros Keuilian gave me, he goes, do you listen to radio when you're driving? Fuck yeah, man. I love my rock music. Audible. All I do now is I listen to Outwitting the Devil, and I've got the new one, the membership economy I'm doing, and I've got all my books behind me. I just get them on Audible, and I'm just like, I'm a sponge. Absorb the knowledge. And then what I do is I wring it out on, because a sponge can only hold so much.
Yep.
But I wring it out on the people that the select few, right? They're absorbing, and guess what? My sponge is empty again. I'm just going to start sucking it up again. Right? Me and my wife, before we go to bed at night, we used to watch TV. Now we read. We used to read separate. I came up with a drill. Like, if you and your wife find something of common interest, I kill two birds with one stone. It's like I'm a marriage counselor. I read 5 pages out loud. She reads 5 pages out loud. She's much faster than me, but we read it on like places that we want to travel, or we're looking at a cooking course now. So we read that. And we're both absorbing knowledge. And then after we each read 5 things, we ask a couple questions, and we do that for like 30 minutes a night. Imagine if people would just start reading about things that interest them. Because I always get this, Mr. Ray, how much do you have to run in buds? I fucking know, as much as they tell you, because people don't want to research things. They just want shit easy. The people that are successful, athletes and stuff, they fucking work. The trick is just fucking work. Be the first one in, the last one out. If you're not willing to do that, then, and the fear of fucking being average doesn't keep you up at night like it does me, being average sucks. I don't want to be average. I want to be a fucking savage. If you can sleep easy at night knowing that you went to bed and you just went, fuck you, man. I don't even want you as a coaching client. I want people that are like, I want to be successful. I am in a rut. I don't know what to do. I need help. Can you help me? I will do as much as I can. And then once I've gotten you to the limit, then I'm going to pass you on to my mentors right? Because I don't know everything. I have mentors too. I got people that put me in check every fucking day. My wife's one of them.
Me too. So there's, again, all sorts of things. I love the building belief in yourself thing.
You have
and that as approach, and that's absolutely crucial. Something that really came across powerfully there as you were speaking. I've written it down before you kind of specifically articulated that sentence. But yeah, belief in yourself is absolutely crucial. A little tangent here. Audible. Talk to me about that. Do you find you can absorb the book when you're listening to it? Because I really struggle with audiobooks, but I love reading, and I find that I absorb things so much better when I'm reading.
I think it just depends on how you can absorb knowledge. I can't sit fucking still, as you can see. I'm a mess. Right. So me sitting there reading a book, I can only do 5 pages. Me and my wife tried 10. I couldn't do it. I think you have to use what works for you, right? And there's no right or no wrong. Like, they say there's 100 ways to skin a cat. Hey, listen, I don't give a fuck. If you got to eat a bag of shit, if that's how you learn, just learn, right? I mean, I'm not being rude, but if you're reading and I'm doing Audible, and then afterwards, right, we do an AAR, after action report. I say, hey, Tom, we're reading a book together. Hey, man, what did you get out of chapter 1? I got this. Oh, man, that's a great way to look at it. What did you get? I got this. Because you and I can listen and look at the same thing, but we get 2 totally different stories from it. So my thing is figure out what works for you. I try reading and I put it in a tool bag, but it's not as effective for me as Audible. But there are other things, but that may work better for you. And my point is, hey, don't judge me. Like Kid Rock gave me some advice on some stuff the other day. I tried it. It's not the best technique for me, but it works. But I pull it out when I need it, right? We have a tool bag. And the trick is to fill it with as many fucking tools as you can from people who've been there and done that. Like, I've had people that said, I can't read. Ray, I just don't have time. I don't like to sit still. Guess what? Come talk to me. There be somebody that's like, I'm looking for a good book to snuggle up with and read for. I'm going to say, hey, go talk to fucking Tom, because I can't sit still that long to do it. Me and my wife, 30 minutes about that. I get, because she's faster than me. She reads for probably 20. I read for 10. I'm done. I'm spent. But I know my limits. And I'm just trying to constantly progress and do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And again, it's, as you say, it's a tool and toolbox. So for me, when gyms are locked down now, but when I'm walking to the gym, it takes me, like, depending on which one I'm going to, 30 to 60 minutes. I'll have a book on, an audio book on there, because, I can't walk down the street reading. So obviously I use that. I'm just aware of the fact that I'm probably need to listen to that chapter twice to get the same as if I just read it once. So yeah, I mean, of course, it's a case of you picking the right tool at the right time for the right job.
Exactly.
Okay. So I suppose thinking through this, like, we've got loads of great points for people, and drawing this together. How can we make this stick so it's not like you said, you make people write down everything for 30 days, and that is it, the POL, right? Just to start determine that. And then maybe it's this 90-day kind of reset you mentioned, but we need to do an audit periodically to make sure we haven't drifted off track, we've got sloppy. How do we go about making sure this stuff sticks?
Well, I do a couple things. I don't know if you can see this, but you see that little piece of paper over there in the back?
Yeah, I can see that.
That's bubbles of how much time I have left to live.
Okay.
So average person, that's called the my life in weeks. There's a whole bunch of things in there. I probably only got about 4 more lines and I'm done. So every day I circle a line. So number 1 is I want to see the end game, because I create a sense of urgency.
Yes.
Number 2, every 90 days I'm going to grade myself on my family, my fitness, my finance, and my faith. So let's start with that. Family. Am I a good husband? Am I a good father? Am I a good friend? Right? Me and my wife, the things that we do, if you're by yourself, it's a little different, but you got to have somebody in your life. We have an AAR every Sunday. Hey, what can I do better? Well, I always start with the negative and then with the positive. What can I work on? What did you like? Like, I might have been a little short or snippy when I came home. Okay, roger that. Take a note and do that. But right, always something, a win and a learn, right? What can I learn from? Do this with my family, my daughter too. Hey, you didn't clean the cat poop. A little bit more attention to detail, right? Okay, daddy, right? She's got a whiteboard in her room too. We do that. Every 90 days, though, I look in that fucking mirror and I regrade myself on that, even though I'm getting the weekly events. I journal everything, right? Journal, log, POL, whatever. Diary, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. Deep thoughts, whatever. And I just constantly do it. I could look on my computer right now and go back 5 years and tell you what I worked out and how I felt, because I write down the emotional discipline that puts me in the red and puts me in the blue. The green, I know what keeps me in the green, right? Stress puts me in the red. Fucking people that talk too much and just waste my fucking time put me in the blue. I know what it is. So I eliminate myself from that. But you need to journal. And you need to constantly just self-correct weekly, monthly, and I do it like quarterly. I do it every 90 days. I go back in there. Family, fitness, finances, and faith. Right? Faith is my bottom. Family's the top one. They can change back and forth too. Right? COVID's hitting right now. Everybody's taking the can with finance. So I got to step it up, pivot, figure out ways, and I'm doing it. You just got to never peak out. That's the thing. People I always talk about attacking the hill. Most people, there's a hill, right? You and I run the same exact fucking speed in life, uphill and downhill. And this is what I'll tell you. If you walk up the hill and I run up the fucking hill, and then you run down the hill and I walk down the hill, I'll beat you every fucking time. And I'll tell you why. Because number 1, when you run down the hill, gravity takes control. And then as well as I do, once that knee goes past that toe as you're going down, you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees, right? From a physical standpoint. But what it really is, the symbolism is the negative entities is gravity, and you're letting it control you. No. When I train people, I say, listen, control your breathing. Don't let it control you. Control your mind. Don't let it control you. It's all about control. And this is what people do. People see a hill, they go, first thing I do, right? This is a scientific thing. They go, fuck. That's what they do. They go, fuck. I got to go up a hill. Nope. I see the hill. I start getting my breath. I'm running up this bitch. It's going to hurt, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up to that hill. And as you climb up the hill, the reason why people stop, it's not because they're tired. It's for 2 things. Number 1, they look down and they see that no one's around them. Shit, they're all down here. This is what I'm going to tell you. Being number 1 is not a bad thing. Number 2, when people go up high enough, the altitude gets thin. It's hard to breathe. But guess what? You can acclimate yourself, stay on top, and you can. Lastly, here's the worst one. Some people realize that they're mentally scared of fucking heights. This is what I'll tell you. Doesn't matter. I would rather be looking down than fucking looking up. And that's the mindset you have. And then once you get to the top of that hill, take a break, situational awareness. Where's the next fucking hill? I'm going to walk down at my pace. No one is going to fucking control me, because when I'm walking down that hill, I'm regrouping, because I'm looking for another hill to get. And if people start doing that versus reverse, I'm reverse engineering versus walking up and let me run down, you go ass over tea kettle, you get all scraped up, and eventually you're going to be hurt. It's because you're letting things control you. You have to control you, mind, body, and soul. Once you do that, and you're never going to master it, never. There's no such thing as mastering it. You just have to constantly, every day, be 1% better. That's why I got that, the tip of the spear. That's where you need to be. You need to be the 1% that's crushing it, because the 99% are way back here, and they're the ones that are walking up the hill and fucking going, and they're bitching because why? Because they didn't train. They didn't exercise their mind, body, and soul. It all starts with you, Tom.
Nice. So we need to, so people take that way, create urgency. Don't be afraid to grade yourself and take responsibility of that.
Be ruthless. When you said that, like you said earlier, and when you grade yourself, be fucking ruthless. Be a dick to yourself, because if you're not, I'll give you an example. When I first spoke, right, I met Bedros Cooley in the speaking event. I opened up for Bedros. He is one of the most amazing speakers I've ever heard. And I love constructive criticism. Don't tell me what I did good, man. Tell me how I can be better. I want to make $50,000 a speech. And he goes, man, you did great. And I looked at him, I said, what? He said, man, you did great. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking fraud. I did great. I'm making $5,000 a speech. You're making fucking 50. You know what great is. I don't. He looked at me and he goes, oh, you want me to be honest? Yeah, motherfucker, be honest. He goes, I don't want to piss you off. Piss me off. Piss me off. And he went, dude, he fucking gave me a Tommy gun of just lessons learned. Guess what I did? I hit record on my phone and I held it right there. Keep talking. Keep giving it to me. Then what did I do? That's my audible. Hey, Ray, better eye contact. Get your hands out of your pockets. Make your stories more presentable, not just about war. Okay, well, guess what? Now I'm making 3 times as much doing that, because I fucking, instead of having a fucking ego and an attitude, I just want, hey, teach me. And if people literally just go into whatever that situation is with people that have been there and like, hey, listen, please tell me what I did better, what I could do better. Don't tell me what I did great. People at that level will respect you for it and be, I'll stop everything I'm doing. Like, I'll watch somebody like, hey, Ray, I don't think my form's right. I'm like, do you want me to be honest? Yeah, your form is actually, you're not sitting back in the saddle with your squats. You don't have your legs out at 45 degrees. You're not pushing your knees out. I get into it. And they're like, wow. I'm like, whoa. But guess what? I'm here. I'll adjust you, fix you. And then what you decide to do from there is better. So most people, as soon as they get constructive criticism, they go on the red or they go on the blue. Fuck that, man. I'm in the green. Yeah. Give it to me. Yeah. I'm absorbing that information. Man, like, I'm not a fucking millionaire. If a fucking guy that's worth $500 million is going to teach me how to make more money, hold on. Because I used to text when he was talking, which was disrespectful, and Bedros Cooley and took my phone from me. He goes, let me show you something. You have this thing called voice memo. I had no clue. Voice recording and play. Dude, I have every single message lesson on here. And guess what I do? If I'm getting ready to go to a seminar to do something, I hit play and I listen. Again and again. I'm always getting something out of it. I can read one page of a book 1,000 times and I'll get 1,000 different lessons out of it. That's what I do.
Yeah. So I think that being ruthless with yourself. I mean, there's going to be plenty of people who are prepared to be ruthless to you. So if you're not, you're missing out there. And then I love the fact, like this growth mindset, this learn and improve. Like you haven't got all the answers, but you're improving. And you're growing. And refining things as you go, and course correcting, as you said, you don't lose unless you quit. So you're just always learning, right. Which I think is just a crucial takeaway for people, to put in their mind, because we'll be our own worst critics sometimes, but rather than using that to fuel us and be a launch pad to more, we'll let it just defeat us and we quit.
Oh man, I love it. I tell people, people always tell me, Ray, I'm hungry. Bitch, don't come at me with hunger. Come at me when you're fucking starving. Like when you're literally, you will like, I will eat out of the trash can for fucking knowledge. I will do whatever. Like I, if people that I respect tell me run through that wall because if you do, you're going to learn knowledge. Guess what? I'm like, Roger that. I'm putting on my Buds helmet. I'm running full fucking speed. You got to go balls to the walls because obviously you're looking for knowledge because you've been doing it fucking wrong your entire life. I was. I didn't start really dialing my shit in, like really getting dialed in till last January when I started working with Pedro's. I'm learning how to make more money and be more successful and do a lot of more cool shit by just doing what I was doing before, but surrounding myself with people and they've realized that, hey, when I fuck up, they're like, they'll call me, right? No, that's you, nope. And I never get, the minute that I get an ego or attitude with them, they're going to fucking shut me off. And guess what? I have turned off that fucking spigot of knowledge and I've doubled my salary since working with this guy. Fuck yeah. And people go, well, it's not all about money. You're right. It's not. But guess what money can buy you? It can buy you time. It can buy you options, right? My wife, she used to bust her ass. She still cleans the house. We have a cleaning lady now. My wife used to work. She stays home now. I love it. I just work harder. I work harder. She's with my daughter, takes her to fucking private school every day, brings her home, does all this shit with her. I didn't have that. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. All I know is if you want to challenge me, you better be fucking ready. Cause I'll tell you what, man, I'm the gain pain train and I will fucking run you over. If it's you or me, I may not win, but you'll fucking know I was there. And that's how job interview, anything. I've done job interviews before. This is the best piece of advice I can give someone. Job interview, right? Let's say you're getting ready to go for a big job interview, right, Tom? You don't get it. What do people do? Okay, I'll move on. No, call that fucking person. Wait for him outside work without being a creeper. Ask to take him out. Can I take you out to coffee, Tom? Why? Because I want to know what I could fucking do better. Right? You have a job interview. How many times does this happen? It's happened to me. I used to do this. You don't get that job interview. What do? Fuck it. I'm going to go find another job. No. Find out who that person was. Like say you interviewed me, Tom, right? I'm going to stalk your ass down in a weird, not creepy way. And this is what I want to do. I want to find you and say, Tom, can we get coffee? Can I take you to lunch? Can we have dinner? Can I get 15 minutes of your undivided attention so that you can teach me what I fucking did wrong so it doesn't happen again? What do people do? They get an ego. Oh, fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's missing. No, he knows what he's missing. I just don't know what the hell he wants. So I want to know what the fuck people want, right? I've interviewed for about 5 jobs. I got all fucking 5 of them because I went in there and said, listen, I don't know shit, but this is what I know. You can trust me and you can trust that I'm going to bust my ass. My effort is going to be fucking awesome. My attitude, I am blessed to be here because this is what I tell people. No matter how hard you're working, somewhere else is working harder because they want to be where you're at. And then mission is this. Listen, my mission is growth. You tweak what that is. You want me to make you money? Roger that. You want me to do this? Roger that. Teach me how to learn to earn, not just money, respect, right? Relationships. And then if you're doing that and you tell people, add on there, listen, Mr. Tom, I'm not hungry, right? He says, you sound hungry. No, sir, I'm not fucking hungry. I'm fucking starving, right? And then I always tell people, like I interview people, where do you want to be in 5 years? I did this, the Bedros Keuilian asked me this. I said, I want to be you. He goes, well, come fucking get it. Because in 5 years, you can have it because I'm going to be way up here. Roger that. Any person in authority that is threatened by you wanting their position isn't a real leader because there's only 2 types of leaders in the world. 2 types and 2 only. Here you go, guys. Take this home. This is one of your moments. Do as I say, not as I do, or do as I say because I'm fucking doing it right now. Lead by example, right? That's why I do those push-ups every Sunday, 1,200, 20 on the minute, every minute for 60 minutes. Can I do more? Yeah. You can't do it? Do more, do less, just do. People are like, what do you mean do less? Life is not about a dick measuring contest. It's about showing up, putting the fuck out, right? Giving it your all and realizing that you have so much more to give. There's people that beat me. Just be happy with you. I go to bed at night, even though I still have a hard time with the fact of being average, knowing that time plus effort equals results. Maximum time, maximum effort is going to give me maximum results. Shitty or piss poor timing shitty or piss poor fucking effort is going to get me shitty or piss poor results. It's that simple, guys, right? Do the equation, right? Do it how you want. And then another little tidbit I'm talking about is, you heard me say it before, cut out the negative entities, right? Because I don't know how much time we have. I got a seesaw right here. Right, Tom? Mm-hmm. This is a seesaw. What do you guys call it, a seesaw in England?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So here's the thing. I put one negative person on a seesaw. It's going to sink down, right? Nobody's on here. How many people do you think I need to weigh that back even? Take a guess.
I can cheat. I'm fairly certain I know the answer.
What is it?
7.
It's 7. You're fucking right. It's 7. So for every negative person you have in your life, you need 7 fucking people to counter it. Let's do the math. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. Do the math. Keep going up. Cut them the fuck loose. If you have 5 people in your life, get them down to 4. 4 times 7 is 28. A few months, 3 times 7 is 21. Cut them down till you have nobody negative in your life. And guess what? Here's the biggest thing. If you have nobody negative in your life and you're still not fucking getting where you need to be, look back in the mirror, because you are the fucking negative entity. There it is. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. There it is. Boom. Drop mic.
Yeah, exactly. Done. Absolutely done. Okay, so one thing I want to ask you is, people, you talk about people having to get out of their comfort zone, right? Now, for you, weirdly, being a SEAL, to some extent, you've done it for so long, perhaps would you be right in saying you almost were comfortable in that environment? And therefore, now that you, as you say, you start working with Bedros, being in this business world and a different, that different world, that was stepping out of your comfort zone in some respects. Now, most people, it's not going to be that way, right? Most people aren't going to think of being a Navy SEAL as their comfort zone. But lots of people are very successful in one area of their life, but they can't transfer that skill across. How did you find that journey when you switched from being a Navy SEAL to being in the business world and rolling with those guys?
You know what? I've never said this to a host, but fuck you, because I'll tell you why. Because Bedros and I, you know what? You're going to get that. Edit it out. No, I'll tell you why. Because I was a hypocrite. And I'll look you right in the eyes, man to man. Walking into a room, making bad things go away, being away from my family. It's amazing what the human body and mind can get comfortable to, right? I switched over to the entrepreneurial world. I bitched, I moaned, I whined. Be honest with you, I was fucking horrible. And Bedros, when I speak, I could go get him. I have a pair of Gucci slip-on slippers. And he called me a fucking sheep line. And I think I knew what it was because of, The Lion King and Lambert the Sheepish Lion if you got kids. But he was right. He's like, you look like a lion, but you act like a fucking sheep. And the story goes like this, real quick, guys. There was a fucking cub who got lost. He was from his father. His father wanted to show him down and watch the lionesses hunt. Somehow they were chasing a bunch of sheep. The son got lost. Father looked and looked and looked, couldn't find him. Thought he got trampled and killed. So he left. Years later, right, what he didn't know is that the sheep raised that young cub as their own. He was big. He was brash. He had his mange, but he was a fucking lion at heart. Years later, the battle-scarred father comes back down and he sees his son. He knows immediately it's him. And the son's cowering like a lamb, like a sheep. And the sheep are trying to protect him. And he moves all the sheep out of the way and he says, son, I'm your father. And he's like, no, that's my mother. That's my father. He says, come with me. And he looks into the water. There's a lake right there. And they look and he goes, you see, you look just like me. And he goes, I may look like you, but I'm not you. So the lion says, son, roar for me. Let me show you one last time. Let me hear your roar, right? People have a roar. And most people, when they roar, they go just like he did. Bah! So what did the father do? He bit him in the fucking tail really fucking hard. And that went to a ferocious fucking roar. And at that moment, right then and there, he bit him. He spun around and he said, you're right, I am a lion. But if you fuck with my family, you're going to fucking die. So my point to this is simply this. I was a fucking sheep. Bedros bit me in the fucking tail. I spun around, realized what I was, but instead of going, yes, I'll kill you, I said, now teach me how to become a lion because I know how to be a sheep. I've mastered that. I've become a lion in my other fucking realm, but I'm a sheep now in this one. And guess what? Now I'm a young lion selling and doing better. Am I the king of the jungle? Fuck no. But I already told the king of the jungle I'm coming for a spot. And what'd he say? Motherfucker, I'm battle tested. Come get it. And that's why I love this guy. And my other business partner, Steve Eckhart, he's the same way. He's just a filthy Marine. He's not even a Navy SEAL. And he's amazing. He says the same thing. Come after me, motherfucker, because that's their jam. But I bring mine, right? I bring my area of genius, my zone of genius to it. And it's a great culmination of passion, wisdom, and power. And that's what we do, right? Figure out, that's my pack now. And I know my place. Every now and then, will I challenge the line? Fuck yeah. Am I going to win? Fuck no. But I'm going to keep challenging him. And he's going to keep welcoming it, because that's what great fucking leaders do.
Yes. Right. I love it. So I think for everyone at home, that's a key takeaway, because, up until this point, we've probably just thought that you were like bulletproof, like a robot, everything's a success. Boom, 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 boom. You put your mind to it. But there's a prime example of you having to go through this process, but recognizing I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. So whatever, you're struggling with at home and you're trying to achieve, I think that's a crucial one.
Oh, I'm the biggest bitch on the planet. When I get sick, my wife, if I brought my wife up here right now, that would be a whole nother episode. She's like, you are a 205-pound baby. But my zone of genius is in case of war, break glass. When we go out, my wife feels safe, right?
Yeah. Yes.
When I'm sick, I'm in a fetal position, like, I need this, help me. My point is no matter who someone is, they're human. They deal with the same shit you deal with. I still have doubt, remorse, regret. I have conflicting thoughts all the time. I doubt myself all the time. I wish this. It's human nature. But the one thing that I'm doing, that's why I'm on this podcast, is I am mastering me. Even though I'm doing that, it's not here anymore. It's down here. It's getting better. It's never going to be perfect. You are never going to be a perfect human being. There's no such thing as a perfect day, a perfect life, a perfect wife. You just have to find the best version of you can be, and surround yourself with the best versions of people that you can learn from and earn from, right? And earning is not money. It's earning respect, trust, wisdom, knowledge, all the great things. And people that want to, right? There's, I'll pull my wife through some of the journey, and then there's other times she's pulling me. Feed off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Listen, we're not going to be bitches, not deficiencies. You're either strong or you're weak. It's either black or it's white. It's, I'm not being a dick. I'm not being, with all the stuff we have going on. It's that simple. It's salt and pepper. It's black and white. It's hot and cold. That's it. And it's win or learn. It's not win or lose. It's win or learn. And if you start looking at life like that, because a lot of people want to go through the gray zone. No, I'm not happy with being gray. I want to be the best version of me that is. And if that means I'm either I want to be really good at everything. Like, if I'm going to fuck up, I want to be the best fuck up there is. If I'm going to do great, I want to be the best great there is. Just be awesome at whatever it is you do. If you're going to be a dick, be the world's greatest dick. Mm-hmm. Be great at something.
All right. Be great at something. Awesome. Loving that, Ray. We're nearly there, wrapping up on time. So I've got two more questions for you.
Shoot.
Now, this is the one that most people, it gets them a little quiet. They have to think. Let's see if it's the same for you. But can you tell me something about yourself that people probably don't already know?
Well, I've tried in which fashion? Because I can tell you crazy shit. Like what?
Oh, mate, like anything. We've had all sorts of stuff. Anything that's not out there. Maybe people wouldn't expect. If it was something surprising, that'd be good. But whatever.
I love watching the Hallmark Channel with my wife, watching crazy fucking Christmas mushy lovey movies. Yeah.
There you go. We weren't picking up. No one had that on their radar.
But
there we go.
But I do it because she enjoys it, and I enjoy doing it with her. Like, we just got done watching Game of Thrones, and it was like death, and I loved it. But man, you put on Christmas time and blah blah blah. My wife, we love it. I don't care. I am a civilized savage. I love being silly with my kids, my daughter. I zero fucks given, man. If it pleases my wife or my daughter, like my wife's a romantic woman, I'll do it. But yeah, watching Hallmark, no one's ever, I'll throw that out there. I know I'll probably get some hate mail for that, but yeah.
Well, now I'm thinking, so what's your favorite Christmas movie is the follow-up question.
Well, my favorite Christmas movie is Scrooge. My wife likes, Jimmy Stewart, was it Miracle on? She likes the old stuff.
Miracle something Street, yeah.
31st Street, yeah. She likes all the old stuff. I like the funny Christmas movies. I'm like a vacation Scrooge guy. But the Hallmark Channel, she just likes it because you always know there's going to be a good ending, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's set up. So it's kind of like you already know the plot. But I just think the world needs more good endings. So that's, I think, why we watch it. I don't like horror movies. I don't like watching stupid military movies where people are doing shit they can't do. I just want something that has a good ending because it gives me hope. And it makes me fucking feel good. And if you want to call me a sappy motherfucker for it, I don't care. It makes her happy. We'll eat a little bit of popcorn. We sit there, and that's more the sensitive side of me.
There you go. We weren't expecting to discover that today. So last question for me is, if I could interview anyone, who should I interview next?
Bedros Keuilian or Steve Eckhart. They will fucking blow your minds. And I can help you with that if you want.
Phenomenal. All right, I'll make a note. I'll hold you to that. We'll try and get them on the show. Fantastic. In that case, Ray, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Please take a moment just to let people know if they want to find out a little bit more about you, where they can get into your world and find out about how to work with you.
Perfect. A couple different ways. I got the blue checks on Instagram, Ray Cash Care, because there's a bunch of fake ones. You can go to my website, raycashcare.com, for any coaching or anything like that. And then I'm also on the Blue Check Facebook under Ray Cash Care, former Navy SEAL. Keep it simple, stupid, right? So please hit me up. Questions, comments, concerns. I answer every fucking DM there is.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll make sure we get all those links in the show notes. Guys, if you want to know more, jump in, get into Ray's world. As you can tell, it's a place to be. Ray, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Boom.
Boom. That wraps up today's episode. Thank you so much for investing your time with us. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you heard and took value from it, please do me a favor by heading to iTunes right now, subscribing to the show, and leaving a review. Positive reviews, like 5 stars, hint, hint, really help the ranking of the show and will help us to spread the word and keep getting top-class guests on. Make sure to follow Breaking Muscle on social media and me at Tom McCormick, that's TOMMACCORMICK on Instagram. Bye for now, and I'm looking forward to catching you on the next episode of the Breaking Muscle podcast.